Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about a self-care toolbox. Yes, self-care toolbox. Um, a self-care toolbox is something that can benefit your mental health if you prepare it ahead of time. These are items that you would have set aside in preparation for either a crisis event, something that would help you reduce your stress, or just general maintenance. So step one, we want, basically the toolbox is used to gain control over your mental health. I know that I mentioned in my first episode or my introduction that I had traveled to Colorado and I had packed literally a container full of all the things that I thought I would need to take care of myself. And these aren't things like, nail files and nail polish. These are things where I actually intentionally thought through things that would help me through anxiety, panic attacks, depression, whether I had a manic episode. So we're going to talk about how to put that kit together, and I'm going to share some of my personal items in a list form that might help you. So first, we want to talk about think about those items that bring you joy, and they can vary. And some of the things that have brought me joy, for example, is I enjoy a cup of herbal tea, and I carry tea in my purse. A toolbox can be a purse, a large box, a tote if you're traveling. So we'll talk about containers too, but herbal tea. I carry my crochet with me in my purse because I skin pick and it's an anxiety thing and it's really gross and I don't want to do it. So crocheting helps me do that. And crocheting brings me joy, or knitting brings me joy. Gum, I bite my lip, the inside of my lip, so chewing gum will help prevent that. So these are all like things to either help you stop a habit or just bring even relaxation. So before I had lost my sense of smell, I used to carry essential oils on a roll, like a stick that you could just roll on your wrists. And I used to use lavender and just sit there and smell my wrist. And then I also had lava rock bracelets that you could soak in essential oils, or put a few drops of essential oil on lava rock bracelets, and that seemed to be helpful for me as well. So you want to make sure that you come up with a list of items that bring you joy. And I'm going to shortly try to breeze through this real quick, but I focused on my sense of sight, touch, smell, hearing, and taste. And even though I don't have a real good sense of smell, I still use things that I know smell because I try to fake my brain into thinking I can still smell. So for sight, I have adult coloring books. I love my gel pens and markers. I journal. I have my Bible and Book of Mormon, a sleep mask, which is really good for when you're having those intense moments where maybe you're just overstimulated. Sometimes just putting something over your eyes would help reduce that anxiety. I have meditation cards that have pretty pictures of gardens, and sometimes just visualizing just being in that garden helps. Sense of touch. I carry lotion in my purse, fidget spinners. Like I said, I mentioned my crochet. Lip gloss and chapstick could be everybody might carry that, but pick something that's intentional for you. An ice pack or a head ice pack. I have one that literally wraps all the way around my head. It's kind of pretty cool. Usually use it when I have a headache, but if I'm feeling stressed, sometimes I'll throw that on, and that seems to help. Rubber bands around the wrists. I know that sounds really weird, but if you're struggling with some self-harm habits, just flicking that rubber band is a lot better than doing some other things that maybe not be as healthy for you. So rubber bands, I have rubber bands in my purse. Mala beads, you can play with bracelet beads. Of course, everybody has to have a soft blanket. I also have a weighted blanket. For smell, candles, essential oils, lava rock bracelets. I also put bath salts. I still bathe with some bath salts. And then with hearing, have a playlist that is conducive to your mood. So when I'm depressed, I don't want to play depressing music. Music that is joyful to me is I will play Christmas in June, July, August, September. Like, it does not have to be December for me to play Christmas music. If I feel like I need to pick me up, I will listen to Christmas music. So that's a big one when I'm depressed. So have your playlist ready. When talking about, hearing, earbuds, noise canceling headphones, you don't even have to play anything. Just put the headphones on to like have silence. Meditation. I have a YouTube guy that I like to listen to. His name's Jason Stevenson. I think he's from Australia. Has this really cool accent. Puts me to sleep at night. I enjoy listening to him. White noise machines. I have one of those as well. And earplugs. I carry those around too. Taste, even though I don't have a real good sense of taste either, I do carry gum. Lemon drops are really good. Those really sour lemon drops are really good for when you're having a panic attack. So try to get yourself out of that awful place. You want to kind of shock yourself. I talked a little bit about that, I think, in my first video, but putting something really sour in your mouth brings your body back to its grounding kind of effect for yourself. So put something sour in your mouth. Lemon drops, I carry in my purse. Jolly Ranchers, who doesn't love a piece of chocolate or a piece of candy? So those are some of those, basic things that I have in a toolbox. And I know that when I went to Colorado, because I was driving across country, my toolbox was a huge tote that was probably like 2 feet wide. And I had even put my tent in there. I didn't even care if I didn't have to go camping. I just wanted to set it up in the woods and sit in the woods. Like, if your toolbox has to be pretty big, I'm not talking about a vacation, but, make it big, small, or little. But identify the bag. So I carry a purse that is a little bit like a backpack, so I can carry some of my items in there. At home, I do have a box of just things stuffed, which is mostly like my crayons, my coloring books, a lot of the books that I read, things like that. So find a container that is appropriate to your specific need. And when I say need, like, I'm a very high anxiety person, so I'm always having to have something in my hands. So my purse is loaded with those types of items. When I'm at home, my box that's in my bedroom has things like my sleep masks, my lotions. I will play with beads at night too, rubber bands, Epsom salts are here. Like, just put those all in one area. The other thing you want to do is make sure that your collection is personal to you. So I'm a very artsy person, so I tend to do a lot of like mandala drawings, or free, like if I'm feeling a lot of anxiety, I'll just scribble it on something and try to make something of it. So collect items that are personal to you. If you're not a craftsy person, they're not going to work for you. So spend time finding those things that will work for you. And then swap them out regularly. So it doesn't always have to be the same coloring book. Maybe coloring books are out for you and you want to do more journaling. Like, swap those items out and make sure that you're using these items on a regular basis. You don't have to be in crisis to start implementing this toolbox, this self-care toolbox. I encourage you to use these things daily. Get in the routine of using them daily. It's a good way to help you get back in control of your mental health. And caring for yourself is an important thing. Like, you cannot care for anybody else if you're not taking care of you. I think the term is when you fly and the oxygen mask comes down, you have to put yours on first, and then the person next to you, if they need help, you assist them. So you really do need to take care of yourself, and I think this toolbox does help you in doing those things. And it is a journey towards awareness and wellness. So I encourage you to make sure that you try to do those things. You can also look at this toolbox in a different way. I broke out things that I have anxiety. I have a list of those things, and then if I'm depressed, I will use those things. And then if I'm having a panic attack, what I need to use for those. And mind you, when you're in panic, you're not always thinking real straight. So I have gotten in a habit of just going to the sink and running cold water and doing ice cubes. You can't carry ice always in your purse. That's kind of silly, but you can get to cold water. If I am in a panic attack, though, those lemon drops in my purse have come in handy, even though I can't taste, my taste buds in the back get real tingly, and I start salivating, and it sounds silly, but it still works. Or getting barefoot and walking outside, if you can try to pull yourself out of your panic attack, or you start knowing that you're in the initial or beginning of that, those things might help you. And then when I'm manic, things get a little crazy, but I try to maintain a routine. So the toolbox becomes even more important when I'm manic, meaning I need to continue using those things that I kind of use on a daily basis to get myself out of that mania stage. So I will still use a playlist, but I will play things that are slower versus things that are high tempo. Herbal tea, but definitely decaf. Knitting, I usually get a lot of knitting done when I'm manic. I draw really quickly. And clean. So even though I say that might not be a toolbox item, but if you make a list like I have here of what you can do, this can go in your toolbox. Like, put some intention into this list. Build your mental health toolbox, and make sure that you use it routinely. Get that control back. I think it's pretty important. You know, we're on a journey. This doesn't go away. So anything that we can do for ourselves, and I keep saying, try to do something for yourself every day to help make yourself better or improve or just love yourself a little more. And I really do think this toolbox can help you do that. So I hope you have enjoyed what you've heard today. If you do, please subscribe and hit the like button. I appreciate the time that you spent here today. So take care. Bye-bye.